Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Christmas Eve. I am Jason Douglas, and I'm here with the awesome Selena Rifkin, and we are here.
And Pixel.
And Pixel, I see the tail. We also have uh, Boogie Woogie, Bella, getting hydrated in the background.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hydration. She's
And,
awesome.
I don't usually do a background, but this was I am in Maine, and this was Maine this morning. 15 inches of snow.
Oh wow!
We
Oh,
are
that's right.
having
You're
we are
late.
having a
Oh,
white
geez.
Christmas. Haven't had that in a long time. Pixel, you're not helping. Come here, buddy.
Here I was telling Melissa here that you had 15 inches of snow in Southwest Connecticut. I forgot that you were in Maine. That makes a lot more sense to me now. I'm thinking, what a storm
Yes.
came through and blew this. We didn't even get an inch here, over here in the Northeast. What's going on? I mean, that can happen, but usually it's northwest to southeast, not the other way around.
Yes. No, this is not
I'm
good.
like, what a bizarre storm we had here that came through. Like, wow, all morning, I swear. So you sent me those photos of your outside of your place there. I was like, what?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Maine.
Okay, that's
Oh
really
my
funny.
goodness. Oh God.
That's hilarious.
What was this? The nor'wester that came through? What's going on?
Yeah, it's magic. It's Santa Claus.
Christmas special. So anyway, this is a Christmas special.
Yes, this is a Christmas.
Short and abbreviated version of the Connecticut Common Sense podcast,
Mhm.
where we'll talk a little bit about, well, I mean, we're going to do a New Year's one, I think, eventually, but this is really about the holiday season and Christmas, primarily Christmas. Most people in America celebrate Christmas, and there's Hanukkah, and there's a couple other holidays that are celebrated this time of year, too.
Well, it's the winter solstice, Yule,
Tell
and
us a little bit about that, just a
and
little bit about that.
Hanukkah. So, and
I mean, I don't know much about Yule. What do you know about Yule?
Yule is the winter solstice. This was the traditional holiday that was celebrated
20th,
because
21st?
this is the time, and actually the winter solstice has passed, and that was the 21st.
Yep.
And that is the longest night and the shortest day. And now the days will start getting longer. And you told me something very cool about the 25th that I want you to tell the viewers that because I thought that was really interesting about the date of the 25th in particular.
It is very interesting. It goes back way back in time. Um, so the 20, you got to go put yourself back into a day before technology, ancient times, way back in the days of Moses, before that even. And the very first people before the establishment of established religion, almost the cat, woo, or the establishment of religion, people, you can imagine that people realized that the sun was providing warmth and providing, life for them essentially. So it's the sun that people look to in those days. And to the naked eye, and most of the population of the Earth is in the northern hemisphere. And in the northern hemisphere, of course, the sun, as you all know, as we get closer in December to the winter solstice, the days get shorter and the nights get longer, and the sun also goes an arc across the sky at a much lower scale along the horizon than it does in the summer. So you notice in the summer, the sun is basically going over the top, almost over the top of your head completely. Whereas when you go to winter, it comes on a shorter arc. And December 21st or 20th usually is that day where the sun not only is it the shortest day, the reason why it is the shortest day is because the sun is traveling a shorter path across the sky along the horizon more for the day.
Mhm.
And December 21st or 20th, sometimes the 22nd, I think,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the where it's the shortest. Now, for the naked eye, now we have technology, but for the naked eye, the sun is not noticeably higher in the sky again until around the 25th of December.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Birth of the sun. The
Yeah,
sun, line out
that's
for life and crops, was getting lower and dying in the sky in their mind.
hmm
And as it started to rise again, the sun rises. So a lot of people, some of the most ancient philosophers and people study the most ancient history think that Easter and Christmas were once the same thing. The sun rises.
yeah.
It's a little higher in the sky now. You notice that it's coming back up. It's rising. It's
I
reborn.
don't think you mean Easter. I
Well,
don't-
that's Easter. They celebrate the rebirth of Christ on Easter after 3 days.
yeah, and
3 days of
that's
doesn't Christ die on the cross, and then for 3 days down on the cross.
yeah. Although
Also between December 22nd,
that
December
date is
25th.
interesting. I just thought the December 25th date is it's like that just because of where that follows. I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
I think
first day you can actually see the sun getting a little bit higher across the horizon.
and super symbolic.
Maybe
So
it's a coincidence. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so. Well, they're ancient Persian religion held that as a sacred day, like specifically December.
right. December 25th is celebrated in a lot of
Not that
different
they
cultures.
didn't call it that, but because it was the months were different. But it's like that point. I didn't know it's like why that particular day, but
Right.
it's like but when the sun starts to show, when the sun starts to increase,
You can
which
see it.
again very symbolic.
Yeah.
That's when Christmas got deposited on. So, but
That's the date. Yeah, well, you can actually see the sun with the naked eye a little higher in the sky. So I found that very interesting.
so the sun is the daylight is returning,
Yeah.
and we will go with hope is returning. This is the time of year to start looking for things to be, and we still have winter ahead of us, but things are going to start shifting and moving.
Yeah, it's already moving towards spring already.
Yes, we're moving towards
As soon as we get longer days, that's heading towards spring.
longer days, and I think spiritually we're also going to start getting longer days. That things are shifting.
You want to know something else interesting?
What?
Want to know something else interesting?
Sure.
Three Kings Day is on January 6th.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's like
January 6th, I don't know if this is a coincidence or not. You can judge for yourself.
Okay.
January 6th is the day of the coldest. After January 6th, the average temperature begins to rise.
Too. Huh. I'm learning all sorts of things.
Yeah. Average temperature in most of the north of the in the temperate climate.
Mm-hmm.
The coldest part of the year is right around January 6th in terms of average coldest temperature.
Cool.
So yeah. And then there's Kwanzaa. Can I talk about Kwanzaa for a minute?
Sure. If I get to talk about Hanukkah next.
Yes. I don't want to talk. I don't want anything to say about Kwanzaa. I have a question about Kwanzaa.
Okay.
What the heck is it? What is it, and who celebrates it?
I do wonder who celebrates it.
And is it even real?
I'm gonna. I would
African
be
holiday,
willing to
is there an
guess
origin to it? Like
that there are people in California that celebrate Kwanzaa.
I think it's meant to compete with. I think it's just meant to. It's like the USFL. Meant to compete with the NFL. It's never going to work. The Kwanzaa's here to try to compete with Christmas. It's never going to work. Just give it up.
Okay.
Join us. I mean, come on.
Right.
I think maybe I don't know. I like to research a little bit. I'm understanding that there's an African origin to Kwanzaa.
Right. Well,
and so if you're from that country and you're into it, fine.
Maybe because it very very different climate. So, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I'm very unclear about that.
Is there a particular date Kwanzaa's on? Even
again, you're asking.
It's 26th, the day after Christmas.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a 3-day thing.
January 1st.
It's 26th to January 1st.
Okay.
So it's Christmas vacation essentially, Kwanzaa.
Well, that's convenient. That's convenient.
Look, I don't want to say anything for those of you who are genuinely into Kwanzaa. I don't want to offend anybody, but come on.
Yeah.
It's not religious days. I think there's an African origin to it, and it probably has something to do again with the rising of the sun, like all the rest of them do.
I guess.
But and if you want to be in the Kwanzaa, it's fine with me. But give me a break.
Yeah. Well.
And then there's Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, which by the way is not Jewish Christmas, and it is a minor holiday. It's a very minor holiday.
Right. For in terms of the Jewish religion, it's not considered. It's like Ash Wednesday or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's
or Grandparents' Day.
Yeah, the Jews were under siege, and they had oil candles in the temple.
Yeah.
And there was not enough oil to keep the candles burning. And again, my husband has a joke, and my husband can make jokes because he is Jewish. He has a joke about Jewish religion, Jewish holidays, and it's like, they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat. Mm-hmm. So that's his joke about Jewish holidays. So that's basically Hanukkah is they tried to kill the Jews. In this particular case, the miracle was that the oil for the oil that was, the candles were burning in the temple lasted for 8 days. And so it was, this is the miracle that's being celebrated. So that is the story. And I celebrated Hanukkah with his family, not this weekend, but the weekend.
Right. It was like the 14th to the 1st or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's
Eight to eight,
Sunday.
like Adam Sandler says, 8 crazy nights.
Yeah, and it's
Not really
not
though,
though, and
right?
no, you don't get presents every freaking night. You know,
Well,
when you grow up, there were years when you didn't get anything.
even the rich kids didn't get one every night.
No, I mean,
Wow.
if you're wealthy, you can give your kids something every
If
night.
we wanted to, right? But it's not part. It's not like part of the mantra. It's not part of the.
It's not, yeah, it's not part of the mantra. It
Yeah.
really isn't. I mean, yeah, we do some gifts and we
Well,
usually do holidays. So it's this kind of wide, it's like, oh,
we're getting Christmas.
it's the celebration time of year.
So it's kind of Christmas that inadvertently gives Hanukkah like a bigger
Yeah, and
thing.
they
This
were
is
always supposed to be like little presents.
right.
We got to be a
It's,
more wealthy
it's more like
society.
it's more like a Memorial Day type of thing for them, man. Like a holiday, a cool holiday, but not
Well, it's, food.
like
We get together and have food, and the food is not to be sneezed at.
I mean, Passover and Rosh Hashanah, they're the big two holidays, right? Or Yom Kippur, right?
Yeah,
Yom Kippur,
Passover and yeah. Well, Yom Kippur.
that's a pretty good holiday, isn't it, too?
Yeah. So yeah, Yom Kippur is like you go to synagogue on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and those are in the fall.
I think this year, special, I think special kudos and attention should be paid to Hanukkah and the Jewish people because they're really going through a lot. They're being
Yeah.
slaughtered in a lot of places, and there's a lot of bad times. Like Israel's under attack. We have a really disgusting, even just 15 years ago, even talking about anti-Semitism in America was everybody would say you don't talk anti-Semitism. That's not should be.
Yeah.
But
Now
now
it's
it's like this thing, like this movement around the country by a bunch of young people. Excuse me, I love my Joby at home today in colleges, right? um, and it's really sad. I dated a girl briefly before I met Melissa. I dated a girl who was Jewish briefly for a little while. Um, my mother married a Jewish man when I was in my late 30s and converted to Judaism and practiced Judaism until he passed away. And even a little bit now, she's kind of both. She knows Christmas mostly, but she still honors her late husband with Jewish tradition and things like that. But I think we need to really work on in 2026 putting a stop to
the anti-Semitism.
speech.
Yeah, that would be good.
It is not free speech to go and make people who are Jewish' lives miserable. That's not free speech. So, it's sad. But we don't have much time left. And I think Christmas we're saving the best for last. The biggest, if not the best, the biggest holiday is Christmas. And what does Christmas mean to people in America? What does Christmas mean to Americans in America? It's a question that's really interesting, I think. There was a time, maybe 50, 60 years ago, when 90+% of the people consider themselves Christians.
Yeah,
And
that I can tell you statistics on that.
down to
Yeah.
about 70% now, from my understanding.
Yeah, it was about 70%. And that starting in the numbers were slowly trickling down from the 40s through 2000. So for about 60 years, there was like just a slow loss. Then after 2000, it sloped down pretty hard. But it has leveled off. So and COVID may be responsible for that.
There
So
might have been a spark in some of the things that might have leveled it off was 9/11. I heard some about, and then of
no,
course
it didn't start.
COVID.
It did not level off
Did
after
not,
that. It's like I've looked at the charts for my thesis.
after 2000, it didn't level off.
No, it
Got worse?
dropped down after 2000. It got sharper. There
So
was
the
more
COVID
loss,
leveled it.
probably because of the internet.
Think the COVID might have leveled it off a little bit.
No, the COVID definitely leveled it off. It leveled off in 2023.
Is there signs of it bouncing back a little bit? Maybe
It's too soon to tell. My guess is yes, that trend. And mind you, that these statistics have to do with literally church membership, not specifically whether people are saying, yes, I'm practicing Christianity and what that looks like, because we don't really know that yet.
Okay.
And how people practice that may change. Churches are the traditional way that Christians practice in large groups. But that doesn't mean that that's how it's going to happen in the future.
Right.
A lot of people,
doesn't mean that.
we're like, oh no, I just want to, we have Zoom, we can have prayer groups on Zoom. And
Right.
So we don't know what that's going to look like yet. Yes.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Has leveled off.
I don't mind labeling myself politically of what I am, but religiously, I tend to shy away from that. I don't like to call myself anything really other than a person of faith who cares about spirituality and and aligns myself very largely with a lot of the philosophies behind Judeo-Christian values because they represent freedom to people. There's not a, the origins of what led to the United States go back to the days of Martin Luther.
Oh, further back than that.
Well, even further back. Of course, there are always people that love freedom going back to the beginning of time. But
Yeah.
the major movement that led to the United States started with, I believe, with Martin Luther and his theses to break away from the Spanish Inquisition and the Catholic hierarchy at the time, which was very oppressive, actually, to create a little bit more of it. And then capitalism, the system of capitalism that began in some areas in Eastern Europe, believe in Germany, believe it or not, of all places. At that time, there's a book called Protestant. I wish I knew the exact title. I read it in college. It's called The Rise of Protestantism and the Rise of Capitalism, I believe it's called. And it talks about there's a correlation between that. And it led to guys like John Locke. And John, if you don't know who John Locke is,
Of course.
he's a man whose philosophies basically are the words of the Declaration of Independence that guys like Thomas Jefferson and Washington and Madison, the guys that we were familiar with, looked up to and studied, and which led to the writings that led to our country. So that's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to Christmas though.
Yeah. I think for Americans, the big thing with Christmas and what it means to us as Americans is that this is a time we get together with people that we love and care about, which is usually our family. And admittedly, that dynamic isn't always a fantastic thing. But my husband often talks about family are the people that are there to pick you up, however, whether or not they actually like it or they even like you.
It's still your backbone. They are part of extension of who you are and your backbone. They're very important. And you know what? Here's another thing I found interesting.
And they're critical. Family is critical to the American enterprise, as we have been talking about.
When you fight as a family, it means you care.
Mm.
It means you actually care about each other.
You mean when you fight with each other?
When you fight with each other, when you fight as a family, when you bicker as a family, when one of your brothers is coming down at you about the way you're handling something, and you're saying leave me the hell alone, and the way when family comes at each other and things like that, it's not always a good thing. Believe me, I'm not trying to say fighting is a good thing. What I'm trying to say though is when people fight about things and they bicker in families and they're talking about things because they're passionate about it, care about you.
Yeah.
So, I thought a lot about the family, and Christmas is that. That's exactly the answer to the question. What does Christmas mean to America? It means family. It means getting together. It means giving to each other, thoughtful gifts to one another. I just do cash for my kids lately. But it's just about giving to one another and spending time together as a family and talking things out, and go ahead and have that little fight. Because at the end, you realize one person, might be right or the other, and you're actually closer as a result. Don't run away from it. Your family is really the one thing. It's in this life. There's very little you can actually count on sometimes.
Yeah.
And the people that are out there in the world with you, even your acquaintances and bouncing around, business associates, whatever, most of them are out for themselves. At the end of the day, they're not going to pick you up when you fall down necessarily. But your best friend, your closest friends in your family do. And Christmas is about that, bringing it all together. So even if you're not a big believer in the birth of Christ or a big believer in the religious background necessarily, Christmas still means something. For me, I, like I said, do not consider myself any particular religion. However, I do have my own faith. I do align myself with Christian values quite a bit. And I feel like that Christmas means, has always been a lot to me. Even if it's not something I buy into everything for, because I don't, as an investigator, as a person, I'm analytical. I struggle with believing the stories, a lot of the things. Doesn't mean I don't admire it, and it doesn't mean I wish it wasn't true. Maybe it is true. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm willing to, be talked into it. But the bottom line is, I've always loved Christmas because it is very special to me. The music is cool. It's just about being good to one another. And peace on earth, goodwill toward men. Peace on earth. Peace. Let me repeat that. Peace on earth.
Yeah.
People should be looking at if you like peace on earth, goodwill toward men. You should be looking at President Trump and saying, "Good job, man. At least on that."
Yeah. Yeah.
At least on that, man.
He's done a fantastic job on that.
Yeah. I mean, nobody can. If you're arguing with that, your head isn't screwed on right. You can disagree with Trump on a lot of things, tariffs, if you want, but he's spot on about the things he's done around the world to create peace on earth, will toward men.
Yeah.
That's what Christmas is about. That it's about bringing together and being good to one another, kind to one another. Something we need more than ever in this country
Yes.
right now.
Yes, very much. Very much.
And so I've loved Christmas for that reason. I always have. You know, even though my family situation is also most people's, there's messed up stuff. You know.
Yeah. So it occurred to me I wanted to share in the realm of friends and family. I wanted to share something really cool that happened yesterday. I have a friend who's very liberal and that I've known for, oh Lord, 40 years. And we've been back and forth being, communicating. And just before the election, she disappeared on me. And she lives in California, and she's, been very, very liberal over the years. And she was my heart sister for, for a long time.
Yeah.
And after the election, I thought, as like, is she gone forever? I was really wondering that, because I tried to connect with her and she wasn't answering. She just ghosted me.
Yeah.
She called me yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, she called me to wish me a happy birthday.
Wow.
And so
happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Related. You're a Christmas Eve person?
Yes.
I like it.
But yeah, so that was, and it was funny because I had actually prayed on that, and it was very interesting to have a prayer answered so quickly.
Wow.
It was, and I didn't expect it. I had no expectations.
Universal mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm calling that my little holiday Christmas.
Little holiday, your own little Hallmark movie over there.
Yeah. and then we get this, White Christmas thing going on. So
the White Christmas thing is an interesting subject.
Yeah.
So okay, I've been living in Connecticut my whole life. I've been through this, I believe my 56th Christmas. And in my memory, which goes about at least 50 of those 56 years anyway. I've had I want to ask you to guess, how many pure white Christmases do you think I've experienced? I'm talking about, when I talk about white Christmas, I mean literally Charles Dickens, like Christmas Eve, snow coming down, putting everything up, and then the next morning you wake up, it's all like Christmas Story, all like that kind of like Christmas. How many do you think I've experienced?
Never.
Been one. There was one. 1996. I was in Norwich that night, celebrating Christmas Eve with my wife at the time, and it did happen. There was no snow on the ground. It was about 4 or 5, and as it started getting dark on Christmas Eve, it just rolled in, and it just like 4, 5, 6, 7 inches, several inches. Beautiful. Next morning, pristine. The snow ended around 10 in the morning. It was a white Christmas.
Wow.
1 on 50 plus.
Yeah. Well,
now there's been a few years where we've had some dirty white snow still on the ground. Not Christmas enough where you can say, well, there's some snow on the ground, but no, like there's been, I would say 4, maybe 4 or 5 other years, like where it's like, okay, yeah, I guess that snowbank across the thing, and I see there's some coated up in that guy's yard over there, and I see someone with dog shit all over it. But I guess it's a white Christmas. I don't know, type of thing.
Maybe.
Maybe. 5 maybes, 1 real one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, believe it or not, we don't get that many in Maine either.
That's surprising. That doesn't surprise me too much, but it is a little surprising actually.
Well, especially we're on the coast here.
Okay, that's why.
So it'll be cold. It'll like really cold, but it doesn't usually snow until like January. So you might get a freak storm or something like that. But so this is unusual. This is unusual. It's going to stick around. It's not going to.
It looks white as Bing Crosby over there right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, like I said, 15.
You know what? It's funny how we heard a couple weeks ago on Fox News about how Jingle Bells is supposedly a racist Christmas carol.
Oh dear God.
But I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas isn't. I mean.
Yeah. I found I came across a Mongolian version of Jingle Bells, which I'll see if I can find it on YouTube and link it in the comments.
I do a Christmas song for everybody on my ukulele.
Go ahead, do that.
No, I can't. I don't have my Joby. I gotta hold the phone.
Oh my God.
I'll post a couple up tomorrow morning for everybody.
Okay.
I memorized Rocking Around the. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Ready? Here goes. You can't see it though. Ready? A rock, rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a Christmas party on. And pumpkin
Okay, you can stop now. Just you can stop.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
just show it. But I'll post a couple little ones I did tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I know a lot of people. We get a lot of people view those, so whatever. But anyway, I think I'm there if you're there.
I think we're there.
I have lots to do. I know that the family's waiting for me to go to a party over at the
you have to
conference,
go
so
and do the party thing.
we'll
I am
celebrate
going
Christmas.
to. I'm doing breakfast with my cousin tomorrow,
All right.
and she always does a nice Christmas breakfast, and we're making dinner for my mom, because she's not up for traveling anymore. And tonight we are going to watch our two classic Christmas movies. The first one is A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sims, the 1950s version.
Okay.
My husband's favorite. And then we're going to watch Die Hard.
Oh, nice. That's a classic. There's a song called by Billy Joel called let me see it's on the Nylon Curtain album. I wish I remember the name of it. Starts off with "Turn on all the Christmas lights because baby's coming home tonight."
Yes.
I can hear the footsteps in the street. He doesn't mention Christmas again the rest of the song, but it's a Christmas song, just like Die Hard.
I wish I could remember if there was an
Everyone-
argument as to why Die Hard was actually a Hanukkah movie. I came across.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which I was just like, well,
I thought you were going
it
to say.
went on for a long time, and I can't remember what they
I thought you were going to say "It's a Wonderful Life" was going to be the second movie.
Oh,
but Die Hard's better.
Well,
It's a Wonderful Life is a lovely movie, but it bores 80s. Me to death. Yeah, it's 80s, right? So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, whatever it is that you espouse to worship or observe this season. Most of it's Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody, just about everybody, I think, and Happy Hanukkah, of course. That's happy belated Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa if we go deeper into that too,
and a joyous Yule.
And joyous Yule. You can tell me. I like to someday. You and I have a cup of tea. Tell me a little bit more about Yule. It's interesting. Okay. Well, so with that, I'll let you with that, Selena. Good night to everybody. Merry Christmas. Oh,
Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope your holidays are joyful and full of loving family and friends and full of light and happiness. And may we all step into the new year with bright expectations and blessings. So
goodbye, everybody. God bless America. God bless Connecticut. Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas, everyone. Okay. Yeah, they get us out of here now.
Help.